Joan, it's wonderful to have you here today to discuss your artwork and your journey. I'm with Joan Baliker today. I'm very excited about that opportunity to meet with you. So, can you tell us how you started on this journey, where you started from and where you ended up?
Well, I'll tell you, I've always had a interest in something beyond what I was being told at home and at school. I felt there was something more. And so that kind of started me on my journey. And I went from, after I was in the military with my husband, and we had moved all over the world and been with other cultures, and I became very interested in their thoughts and their feelings and what's important to them. And so that kind of started me on my journey to investigate. And then one day, I don't remember what the magazine was, but they were advertising for to become an interfaith minister, and that hit me. Although I didn't want to preach, I didn't want to be at a podium, so I went to that school. It was in New York, and it was beautiful, and the people I met were wonderful. And I felt at home. I felt right there, because what they were doing was showing the similarities of people instead of our differences.
So the cultural experiences that you had made a big difference. I know you started in fashion design and interior decorating, and then along the way we're sitting in this beautiful gallery with Joan's artwork just surrounding the room here and presenting a wonderful influence and very expansive feeling. And I know that along the way you've also done art doll houses as well. So that's quite a wide array of talents and skills and interests.
Well, the doll houses I did to show the different cultures that could live together. So I have 2 doll houses now that have been purchased by Halifax Hospital. And they're going to encase them in glass, and then use my books that I've written about the children and about everything that I do is the same. It's different cultures and understanding each other more fully.
So what would you say were your primary influences in art?
Oh, in art. Actually, I lived on a farm, and I started sketching my cows and pigs. I had a little pig called Peach Fuzz, and I had Bluebell and Betsy and Billy the goat. I'm sorry. And so I started sketching them. And my godparents, who I called my fairy godparents, because they took me over and provided everything for me, saw that I had a little talent from sketching these animals, and then sent me to art school in Chicago, where I took the interior decorating. But that really wasn't me, but I was glad to have that training.
Boy, it's just an incredible journey. So how did you come to find the path of peace and inspiration? I see that kind of woven throughout much of your artwork.
Well, with the people that I was studying at the Interfaith Seminary from New York. And all of these people are people that we studied, and I felt similarities. I felt connected to all of them. And it became a passion for me to help other people be introduced, at least, to other cultures and see the peaceful part of them.
Is that what you were referring to when you speak about kindred spirits?
Yes, that's who we are. In fact, I think that painting over there is all the sculptures that I've done. And this one is my dream, but it has also all the cultures that I've looked into. I can't say I'm an expert on them, but they were my passion and it connected with me. And then I began reading Carl Jung, and I was on his page, and it was a wonderful experience to find these people who kind of felt the way I did, connected with me.
Is there a piece in here particularly that you would like to refer to?
Well, actually, it's my piece, wherever she is.
Behind you?
Well, that's Shanti, the other meditator. Up here, there she is.
Oh, it's the same one that's outside.
Yes, and that's the first one I did, the big one, which is me. And I learned to meditate, which was a great gift, People are so frightened of the word, but it's just peace. And so I did myself in a 8-foot laundry room with a full-length mirror to see through. Was very, very tight, but interesting. And I posed, and then I did a little modeling, then I posed and did a little modeling.
I love that. I should make a point of saying that we're actually located at the Baliker Gallery, which is in Palm Coast. Do you have a website?
I do.
Okay, so we'll make sure that we have the link for that and contact information as well. But I noticed, of course, my ears perked up when you referred to Carl Jung just a couple moments ago, as he was a big, really brought to the forefront the whole concept of archetypes. Do you see yourself as a particular archetype?
No, I feel myself as a combination. Every morning I ask for guidance, and everybody has this inner core, but we call it different things. And I say, here I am, what should I do today? And all of a sudden I get all these ideas. I mean, I'm 91 now, and I'm still being given ideas and new things to do. So I think I'm touching, for me, the right core, and without frightening people. I mean, it's really beautiful when you realize someone can help you, something can help you, and it's right with you all the time, if you ask.
That's so beautiful. A word that came to me in terms of archetype is the servant. Receiving the divine message, but serving humanity, and that's such just a beautiful place to be.
That's it in a sentence. It is.
And then I have to read my card here because I was so intrigued by a comment that you made where you spoke to a reference regarding Joseph Campbell, who's a mythologist, and it was regarding having the art enter the viewer, and the viewer, as in response to seeing the art, saying, I am that. I am the radiance and energy that is talking to me through this painting or this piece of sculpture.
I think he was right on. He had it. There are many people in the past that we studied at the seminary, and he was one that connected with this thought of unity. And so that's kind of what's led me from one to another. What should I do now? Who should I study? Who should I sculpt? And it was very interesting when I didn't have a studio at first, so I did my sculpting in the laundry room. And I was sculpting the whirling dervish on a little spot I had.
And which one is
where is he?
Is he over?
There he is, right there.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. And I was sculpting him, and we had a tape from the seminary come every week, and I was playing that tape, and I got goosebumps because it was about the whirling dervish. Everything, there's no coincidence. It all happens, I think, at the right time.
Is there something you're working on now?
Not on sculpture, but I do have a couple that I haven't had put into bronze. and one is a Timucuan Indian. I was going to bring him today, I should have.
Maybe,
Yeah, but-
maybe we can get a picture of him and include him.
No, well, I have him, and I'm going to do him in bronze eventually. And there's a park up in St. Augustine, in Indian Park. What's the name of that park?
I think
It's a-
Timuca.
I have not been there, but if you have the name, I'd like it. And I've done some rock carvings, which I have pictures of here. And I did a Timucuan Indian, and I'd like it to be in that park.
Oh, rock carving?
Yes, there's a picture there
my.
somewhere. I don't know where it is.
We'll try to include that
Okay.
as
Can you
part
find
of
it?
the information. It probably won't translate well in the video, but we'll attach a picture if we can
If
get
you
one.
want, sure.
But so you actually carve rock?
A chisel,
What- Oh my
I
goodness!
think-
Wow.
Look in that book right there that I brought, all that material. I think there might be one in that.
If you find one, you can hand it to me and I can hold it up. And maybe we can get a close up shot of it. So also when you mentioned the children's hospital, I guess it was, what, Halifax?
Halifax Hospital is
And-
buying both my doll houses, and there's a picture of one of them right there.
And where is, which Halifax is it? What?
It's down on LPGA, I guess.
Okay,
Boulevard.
here in Florida.
The big one.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And I was being interviewed one day by people there, and it wasn't about my books or anything, but just what I was doing. And after I was finished, the gentleman said, "We'll take both your doll houses and buy all your books."
Wow.
And I was delighted.
Mm.
And Halifax Hospital has just purchased the big piece out in front
Oh, wow.
and put it in their hospice
Oh,
center out on
wow.
Granada Boulevard.
That's very powerful.
It is,
Wow.
and it looks really like it belongs there.
Mm. Mm.
Hope it'll bring peace to some of the people that have to stay there.
That's really great. So we'd like to kind of wind down our time now, and I'll definitely try to make a point of providing the other photographs that you were referring to. But in wrapping things up, is there something in particular, Joan, that you would like the world to know?
I think there's a way to peace, but people have to find it within themselves first. You can't ask other people to do it for you. But if you ask for guidance from your higher self, you'll get it, and you'll respond differently. And you know, Einstein said we're all energy, and I'm really into this now. And whatever I think gets out to everyone, no matter whether I say it or not. So if I stay balanced in my mind, it helps. And I think we need, now especially, we need people helping to calm people down, because the world seems to be in such a mess. You agree?
What an incredible way to leave us, to really to own the fact that we can create that peace within ourselves, and by simply doing that, then there's a ripple effect out throughout
Absolutely.
the
Isn't
world.
that exciting?
Yes, it is. I got goosebumps.
Me too. She does too.
Well, I think that's just a wonderful place to leave, and I'm so delighted to spend some time with you this
Well,
morning.
thank you.
For sharing your life's journey and the message and the beauty and the simplicity and the richness of it. Just a very
Thank you.
special time with you today. Thank you.
So wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not talking.